Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I see some of you are a little worried about whether or not I'm actually going to show up today. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Here I am. My stream's muted. I haven't set up stream title or anything, man. Crazy. West Marches Prep. Hooray! Happy October, everyone. What was Pazuzu doing to invoke me? Oh, 4 minutes late. What the fuck, Steven? I am, or I was, eating some dinner. Hello, the first Sterling. I'm glad you're hype. King FTW. Free Lip, we're just finishing up here, so if you came out to my stream, thank you for showing up. Thanks so much to everybody who hosted. We'll see you probably Sunday for some more Soma, and I'm joking. We just started. Haha, the troll. Hey, the Troot. Thank you for thinking I'm awesome. Okay, so, like, I don't really even know what I'm going to do here. West Marches Prep. Ooh, what's this? Switch Steven's camera and hexographer. Interesting. Doesn't even look like it changed my screen. Edit the scene. That and that. Yeah, okay. Interesting. So I'm going to need to fire up hexographer here. That profile pic. Leo D. Rose, I do need to get a profile pic up, don't I? Especially if I'm going to be streaming more. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm looking for pen and paper. Where did I put it? Hi, Kiska, come here. Come here. Yeah, there we go. Chaos Rider, it's been a dumb long time since I've actually streamed. Since The Witcher. I was actively streaming The Witcher, and then life hit me with a truck, and I haven't really streamed regularly since then, so you're back. In good time. For my files are not helping me out here. Oh, that's because I went into the wrong subfolder. Okay, so hexographer, we can fire that up. I do want to continue using this current version. It's always like, continue using this current version, yes, no. Instead of what I usually expect, which is like, download latest version, yes, no. It kills me. I hear my mic's just a little bit low volume. Is that true? Go Banan, thanks for the host. Hey, got a Kiska sitting right next to me. Uh-oh. Interestingly enough, my stream is not frozen. Not dropping any frames. Yeah, just try to refresh. It looks like I'm getting quality options. Ooh. Oh. Psychoticus, thank you. Thank you for the host. Okay, so I will load up a map into hexographer, and then we can take it from there. Donjons and Dragons. Marches. Regions. So we've got Azamreth, Chayminster Ruins, Rackham Forest, which I haven't really detailed yet. Yeah, look at that. I got some quality options. That's awesome. Twitch, y'all rule. Good job with that. Well, I'll pull up the Azamreth because we need to do some updates to it. So, here's the hexographer map, pulling that up. Yeah, good. Okay, now I can take a look at my stream overlay setup. Stream setup. Yeah, yep, so that can come down here. I need to like, there we go. And now it's just streamception. Look at that. You can see to infinity. That is so great. Okay, you come over here. Cool. I will shrink down my OBS setup. I love it. Excellent. Okay, so this is Azamreth, the Pits of Creation. And this has been destroyed. So let's see. Camero85 is asking, do I still plan on using the areas we've already seen, like the Starkwald or the Barrows, maybe? Camero, I think the Starkwald and the Barrows are a part of a currently uncreated region, which is the Central Ellen Plains. So I need to shove them together and get that done. This is Hexographer. Epirogyne is asking, how much agency do players have with their characters? Do I create all of them for every player, or only those without experience? I create everyone's first character, and then after that I try to push it off onto them as much as possible, because it takes time. I can do it at about half an hour per character now. So let's see what Azamreth looks like. Yeah. Got a couple of different interesting things. Hi, Fayama. I'm hyped for the shirt, too. I tossed a bunch of information to Savvy, and she was loving it. Zecodicus, yes, I am excluding the Elemental Evil player companion. Adam Coble is hosting me. Adam, thank you for the host, my friend. Come back. There we go. Here's Azamreth. So let's see. Farhan's Sanctuary is a capitalist operation. It is annoyed by the Mudburbs. They have a greed of mud, which is owned by Farhan's Sanctuary, the capitalist operation. Now that's been destroyed. I wonder if there's a good way for us to represent that. Maybe we can make it red. Doom. Red to gray. Cool. The amalgamate golems are uncontrolled. They are entirely uncontrolled now. I'm just gonna like delete links to all of these things. It is dead and gone. Dead, dead. Now, it is no longer annoyed at the Mudbirds because the capitalist operation of Farhan's Sanctuary is dead. Cross Staves is hosting me. Thank you for the host, Cross Staves. This is a program called YEd. It's just a little graph editor program. So the Mudburbs still want mud. But the one who owns the mud now is the Dragon of Azamreth. I'm gonna just move this over here. Off to the side to indicate it's dead. Yeah, now I'm using YEd. So yeah, they still want mud. The Dragon of Azamreth is indifferent to the Mudburbs. Okay, so we need a new relationship. This is what I learned from Sagas of the Icelanders. That putting together relationship maps mean you have a lot of information at your fingertips for how you can deal with the situations in your world. So, indifferent. Yeah. Yeah, so the Sky Home, the Arcane Refuge. Yeah, the Dragon of Azamreth avoids it because there's something that my players have not discovered yet. If you are playing, you should cover your ears, Adam. Um, is that there's a little home out in the wilderness here called the Sky Home. I don't have a note for it or anything, but here it is. It's in 01.05, and it's it's a strange structure. Let's see if I can pull up the description for it. Yeah, I do need to get Moobot or some kind of a bot. Yeah, so here's the Azamreth, the Pits of Creation. It's a level 1 to 4 zone. When you enter the region, there's a 50% chance of a random encounter. Whenever you travel within the region, for every hour you travel, there's a 5% chance you'll encounter something. When you take a short rest, there's a 5% chance. When you take a long rest, there's a 33% chance. Here are the monsters that are possible. Sturges, mudburbs, which are axe beaks, zombies, an amalgamate golem, and so here's the thing. Something I introduced in Chayminster is that some of these are limited. I think there's like 4 amalgamate golems wandering around now, but now they're all, or there's a limit to them, right? Because Farhan is dead. He's not producing any more amalgamate golems. Unless someone were to get in there and find the recipe for how to produce them. Interesting. Wyvern Finger, all of the basic player's handbook races are allowed, but none of the supplemental races are allowed. Allosaurus, yes, 1d3 Allosauruses. Or the Dragon of Azamreth, which is a CR6 young brass dragon. The mud pits in the center of Azamreth. There are 11 mud pits. Here's some fun stuff. Anyone diving in the outer 8 pits has the following chances. For each hour spent delving, roll 1d100. On a 1, they must make a charisma saving throw or be reduced to a flesh ooze. On a 2 to 3, they take 46 damage. Charisma saving throw for half. 4 to 97, nothing. 98 to 100, a single 10 gold piece gem. The amalgamate golems are great humanoid beasts. Constructs. Composed of clay, bone, stone, and fur, anyone approaching Farhan's sanctuary has an 11% chance times the number of living golems. So this is, yeah, now it's up to 44 because there's 4 of them. So anyone approaching, this is now Baharaditana's throne. Yeah, Baharaditana's throne. Has an 11% times the number of living golems, equal to 44%. Chance of being pursued by one of these monstrosities. Pursue inwards until their prey reaches the throne. Attempting to engage without restraint. Baharaditana does not care about them. Cool. Let's go do that. So the Dragon of Azamreth is also indifferent to the amalgamate golems. Just cracking that neck a little bit. Could I do a YouTube series about how to prep for games? Possibly. Possibly. Yeah, so Terror of the Wilds. Now he's got this throne. Araditana's throne is his lair. I'll just extend that a little bit. Beautiful. So the amalgamate golems. Kulik Khan is no longer in terror of Baharaditana. They are subjugated by Baharaditana. So Baharaditana has established a throne that he has built with the help of the hut dwellers, and And now he basically rules over Azamreth, the pits of creation, with an iron fist. This program is YED. Mudburbs, Skyhome, Farhan's Mance is now edit label. Bahara. Gitanas. Whoops. Throne. Cool. The Dragon's Lair. Let's see the Petrified Forest. Beautiful. Abandoned bird nests, active bird nests, Kulik Khan, abandoned bird nests, Skyhome. Let me pull this map up. Skyhome. Right, so this is a roughly representational map, but it's not quite right. So yeah, the Petrified Forest, Skyhome is kind of over. Whoops. Come on over, Skyhome. You're supposed to be over there. Active bird nests. Sure. Looks good. Okay, so that's kind of the way that the relationships have updated. This is now completely outdated. This is like the interior description of Farhan's Mance. It's gonna move it down. So you could see here, for example, whoops. We used to have the Mance of Farhan, which related to, so there's a processing hut where the homunculi worked and Farhan works. There's mud pits, there's the domicile, which is where the workers live and the homunculi live. Farhan's Mance, which is where Farhan lives and Nuza lives. So Farhan had an imp called Nuza who was enslaved to him. He held contempt for her and mastery over her. She held contempt for him. She was enslaved to him. He was irritated because he was the creator of the amalgamate golems, but he couldn't figure out how to control them. They were indifferent towards Farhan. He had greed for mud. The mud pit workers were wary of the mud. They had greed for the gems in the mud. The mud pits and the mud pit workers combined to create industrial accidents, which produced flesh oozes. Like, this is how I was keeping track of sort of what was going on. Oh, right. I'm like moving it all around. But that doesn't really work, does it? No, it doesn't. That might work a lot better. There we go. So I think that might be fixed for y'all. I hope so. Yeah, there we go. We're back. We back. So yeah, mud pits, mud pit workers, flesh ooze with industrial accidents. Let's see. So the amalgamate golems, they're large constructs, chaotic neutral. They have 11 AC, natural AC. Thank you, Gabriel Vicarious. Here's their stats. Their speed is 40. They have dark vision, passive perception. Yeah, they fight to the death to protect Farhan's Mance from everything, even Farhan. Yes, protect the sight of Farhan's Mance from everything. I'll just delete that. Bottom left corner. Weird. Here, I'll fix it. There. Now it's fixed. Good. Okay. I do a lot more preparation than you expected. This isn't than you expected. This is insane. Huh. The Dragon of Azamreth. There's a great dragon that stalks the pit of creation that has no name. Oh. The locals at Farhan's sanctuary and Kulik Khan simply call it the Dragon of Azamreth. Now it has a name. It is named Bahara Ditana. Yeah. Oops. T-A-N-A. Good. Bahara Ditana. The locals at Farhan's sanctuary and Kulik Khan simply call it the Dragon of Azamreth. The denizens of the West Marches. Are just as likely to call it the Dragon of Azamreth but to its face, it is Baharaditana, first of his name, Lord of Azamreth, great creator worm. Good. I'm going to put that up here. The Dragon of Azamrath, Baharaditana, first of his name, Lord of Azamreth, great creator worm. Oh, chronic coma. I will put this up on YouTube, so if you catch the VODs, then you'll be able to see it. It is a great machine in the shape of a segmented worm with ceaseless, vicious hooks lining its underbelly. It alternatively floats above the ground and bores through it and delights in destruction and terror. It lairs in the northeast of the region in a forest of petrified trees. The bones of adventurers and prey are left scattered on the barren earth. Can I zoom the Word document a little bit? There. The Dragon of Azamreth, here's its stats. It is definitely no longer CR6. Hang on, we need 2 books. Book time. So, dragon, brass dragon. That's demon, DR, dragons, metallic dragons, bronze, brass. It's no longer young, now it is adult. CR 13. Now it's worth 10,000 experience points. 10,000. Its AC is 18. It has 172 hit points. That is 15d12 plus 75. Saves are Dex plus 5, Con plus 10, Wisdom plus 6, Charisma plus 8. Skills are History plus 7, Perception plus 11, Persuasion plus 8, Stealth plus 5. Damage immunities include Fire. Senses Blind Sight to 60 feet. Not 30, 60. Dark Vision to 120. Passive Perception 21. Oops. Thanks, chat. AC is at 1. GM chat. Languages are Common and Draconic. Has a legendary resistance now. Awesome. So let's see. Auto succeed on saves 3 per day. Yeah, very cool. So multi-attack. It can use Frightful Presence. It then makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its claws. Good. Its bite is plus 11, not plus 9. That's reach 10. Melee 10, yep. 1 target. 2d10 plus 6 piercing. Claw is melee 5, 1 target, 2d6 plus 6 with a plus 11 to hit. And then the tail, it has a tail now. and whip around its rear end. This is reach 15, melee 15, plus 11, and that is 2d8 plus 6 bludgeoning. Did its size increase? Huge. Cool. Rightful presence. Yeah. Let's take that down. Each creature of Baharaditana's choice within 120 feet must make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn, ending the effect on a full success. Once a creature succeeds, it is immune for a day. Okay, cool. Let's see. Breath weapons. It has fire breath. It recharges on a 5 or 6. 60-foot line. 60. 5 feet wide. Each creature in that line must make a DC 18 saving throw. Or take how much? 13 d6. Interestingly, this dragon hasn't gained a whole lot of damage from leveling up from CR6 to CR13. Yeah, sleep breath, DC 18 Conslave. That's a 60-foot cone now. 18 cone or sleep. Yes, legendary actions. It has detect, so it can take 3 legendary actions. I'm gonna blow my nose and mute you. Okay, so legendary actions 3. So it can take 3 legendary actions per round, each at the end of another creature's turn. Nice. Take at the end of another creature's turn. So they are detect, perception check, or tail attack, or wing attack. Costs 2 actions. Beats its wings. So this is melee 10. So I'm not going to call it wing attack because Baharaditana does not have wings. I'm going to call it thrash. Melee 10. Each creature within 10 feet. Let's see. That's a DC 19 Dex save for 2d6 plus 6 bludgeoning damage. And be knocked prone. Baharaditana can then fly. Baharaditana can then fly up to half its flying speed. Cool. Yeah, this Saturday it's going to be Ko, Zeke, Strippin, and Elohim. Here's some treasure that was in its lair, and now it's in its throne room. 700 copper, 7,000 silver, 2,200 gold, 80 platinum. Chalcedonian chrysoprase, a whole bunch of gems. Adamantine armor, a figure of wondrous power, a sentinel shield, and slippers of spider climbing. I don't actually know a whole lot about their new tunes. They're all making them themselves. Okay, so yeah, it lives in the ruins of Farhan's manse and has built a great throne room for itself between the productive mud pits. Let's build that out. So let's see. We know that at the center there's a throne room. Boop boop boop. Okay. Oops, come on. Haridana's throne room. That's probably like close to, like, there's probably some sort of entry hall that's like the Hall of Supplication. Hall of Supplication. So the Hall of Supplication probably has like awesome like statues and friezes of Baharaditana being worked on in it. In order to get there, like, you have to go through, let me think, there's probably, like, he's paranoid now, so he's got a guard post that's got some serious guards that are preventing access to him. So I wonder what kind of creatures he would guard himself with. I'll pull this over here. West March's resources, tools, monster list. Let's see. He's probably gonna use like CR8 creatures to guard himself with. 7 to 8. Go up to 8. Night Hag, Coven, Yuan-Ti, Abomination, Apes, Grick, Alphas, Blue Slod, Mind Flayer, Oni, Shield Guardian, Young Black Dragon. So he could like take a young black dragon and just have it guard him. Ball. Ezra Assassin, Drow Priestess of Lolth. Well, let's make sure. Okay, yeah. Got all the right. Fomorian Frost Giant, Spirit Naga, Githyanki Knight, Slod. This is interesting. This is a website. It's called kobold.club/fight. He has press ganged the villagers of Kulik Khan into doing his work for him. Maybe he has an architectural advisor that he's brought in from a distant region to actually oversee the building. Well, I don't like any of those, so let's go to Pinterest. Let's see. This is my West Marches Pinterest board. Contains all sorts of freaky visual imagery that I use to inspire myself. Scratch and sniff, I don't have all of the dragon types and structures figured out. This is probably what like black dragons are kind of like. I like that. Maybe he's got like revenant horses that guard him. That'd be kind of cool. Malevolent revenant horses. Addis's death, Baharaditana is not necessarily a solitary creature. But he really likes to have control, and now that he's gotten a little bit of what he wants to make sure that nothing else can get it from him. I think he's got like terrifying bone constructs from down within the mud pits. And he's like reassembled them into some strange form. Oh, here's the sky home. What the sky home looks like. Yeah, no, he's totally like put together some sort of wraith horse wraith skeleton creatures. So I'm gonna call them the stables, the bone stables. The bone stables. Love it. And of course, to get to the bone stables, you have to go through the village that's been set up around. So what do we call it? Neuroxis. The reason I don't show off these pieces of art during the show is that I don't necessarily have permission to use them in that way. Like, this is just a pin board where I've just pinned inspiration for myself, but they're not pieces of art that were produced for the show or anything like that. Isn't it a bit close to the bone organ? The name is. Do I imagine anyone touching Bahara Ditana in this year? Doubtful, but it's possible that they could interact with him, which is why it's important for me to know how the region has changed. Yeah, the Kelpie in Sigmata, yeah, that's a really cool piece of art. The Glorious Stables. Oops. The Glorious Stables. And the village. Oops. Yeah. Akarai, Village of Supplicants. So around this, there's this village. There's a village on the outside, and then you enter into the Glorious Stables, and you have to pass under the scrutiny of his bone guardians. And then you wander the halls of supplication. Ooh, let's call them halls. Yeah, sure. I like that. The halls of supplication until you make your way into Bahara Ditana's throne room. Cool. So, yeah, let's see here. I'm going to pull this back over here. The Dragon of Azamrath. Oh, we need to put notes on these. So the Mud Pits, the Dragon of Azamrath. This is... Where is that located? Let's find out. 0303. 0303. That broods in the pits of creation. Kulik Khan is, oops, 0705. Yeah. So let's just keep going through this before we build anything new. Let's update. Krieger Ekal just made a really interesting suggestion. Are the horses going to be led by a Sleipnir equivalent or worship one? Just an idea for another ascendant being. Maybe the idea is that Baharaditana creates them, and then because he's infused so much power into them because of their proximity to this mud, they actually do sort of become independently aware. Yeah. So, okay, a village of mud huts in the southeast of the region by a series of springs, both cool and hot. The village elder, Maelek Hedi, hates Farhan, but needs the gems that the villagers bring back from the mud pits to trade for necessities. The village elder, Maelek Hedi, was one of the first to approach Baharaditana in supplication. As long as she fills his needs in relation to the outside world, he bequeaths her the gems that the villagers need to trade for necessities. Okay, so she's now at the throne of Baharaditana. Let's see. Warrior Echef Nero. We met him last time. He was training to slay the dragon of Azamreth. Now he is at the Skyhome with a group of resistance fighters. Plus 15 to 20, let's say, what? How many dice near me? 17 resistance fighters. Okay, cool. The village is basically dead. The village itself has been abandoned, and parts of it lie in ruins. A thorough search, taking 1 hour, can turn up the following. Let's see. Let's get some treasure going on. Tools. Hey, baby. Treasure. It's Orath. I watched you in a show today. Good job, sir. Oh, that's not what I want. I want Don John. So let's see. This is donjon.bin.sh. I'm going to the random treasure generator. So let's see. This would probably be like a CR1 treasure hoard is available here. Yeah, this is what you would find if you searched through that village. Oops. Do this to get rid of formatting. Boop. Done. Let's see. 50% chance. Let's see. Taking 1 hour, 50% chance of encountering some mudburbs. How many? 1d6 plus 2. Let's say 2d4 mudburbs. 2d4 plus 2 mudburbs. Where'd it go? 2d4 plus 2 mudburbs living in the houses. Okay. I have a friend with me. Hi, sweetie. Addis's death, yes. They can build a blacksmith village. I mean, they can also just straight up buy better armor or better weapons if they want to. Like, normal equipment is not hard to come by. Yep, so not 100 for the ruins of Kulikan. Cool. Skyhome, an ancient arcane sanctuary. Bold mudburbs. An ancient arcane sanctuary, a tall beige hut with 3 walls. The 2 opposite walls have high arched doors in them. Bright red mushrooms grow up over the pillars supporting the roof, and up beneath the underside of the roof only looks like open sky, but it's always clear and bright. Warrior Echef Nero is training to slay the dragon of Azamreth. He currently counts as a thug. He has 17 resistance fighters with him. Well, let me do, so I was talking with Adam today because I watched his Roll20 stream with Orath, and I was really impressed by, like, it struck me again how his NPCs are always so well defined. And I was like, man, your NPCs are really well done. And he just reminded me that he only ever comes up with 3 things for his NPCs. He just picks 3 things and then that's it. So, like, I proposed back to him that God, what's his name? The guy that we turned into Rajani in the last Swan Song before last night. That guy was a 1%er. He was a reformed heroin addict and tattooed. Those are the 3 things, and he was like, "Yeah, pretty much. That's it." So let's see what we can come up with. So Echef Nero, 24. He is brash, hates the dragon. And what else, chat? What should we do? Ascetic. He keeps things simple. He's almost like he's progressing into paladinhood. Here, give me this. Come back. Hey. Berserker has limp, loud. Name, sex, and yes, please. Loves fishing, sadist, paranoid. Oh, there's no paladin in here. That's kind of a shame. I'm gonna say he counts as a knight now. Currently counts as a knight. 17 resistance fighters with him. Skyhome Sanctuary. An ancient arcane sanctuary repurposed by a small band of resistance fighters against Bahara Ditana. So let's see. What do we want to call the resistance force? What do we want to call them? The True Deaths. The Mercy Bringers. What do we want to call the resistance forces? The Pit Fiends, the Furious Dragon Riders, the Undying, Zikotika's Brave Men, the Azamrath People's Front. Do a bird name since birds eat worms. Oh, I like that, Shrey's. The Brass Knuckles is the best choice. Falcon's Gyre. Resistance Force. Falcon's Gyre. Okay, so what are the 3 descriptors for this resistance force? Let's call them, let's see. So he is brash, hates the dragon, oops, and ascetic. And he's the leader of Falcon's Gyre. And Falcon's Gyre is, they're gonna be like, the ends justify the means. The ends justify the means. Guerrilla warfare. What's that? How is that not spelled right? Guerrilla warfare. And single-minded is good. I almost want to call it fanatical. Okay. Beautiful. So they've been like, let's do this, have been raiding at the edges of the throne, killing off villagers to reduce Baharaditana's support. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Need weapons, supporters, tactics. Yep. Dragon hates magic casters. Do the Falcon's Gyre have a small village to support them as well? No, the Falcon's Gyre is basically a camp. It's basically a war camp that's hiding out in the Skyhome. Yeah, so Mudburbs. Okay, good. The Dragon of Azamreth, Amalgamate Golems, the Mud Pits. Okay, so let's describe... Let's describe this. So these headings are all heading 2. Now I need a heading 3. And this is Baharaditana's throne room. And so first what we've got is on the outskirts is Akarai, village of supplicants. So, I'm saving pretty constantly, Murgle. I always just like Control S. It's like a reflex, man. Thank you, though. Thank you for pointing that out. Akarai, village of supplicants. So its 3 descriptors are wealthy and devoted and fearful. So it's very rich, and it is very seriously devoted to Baharatana, but it's also in a constant state of terror. Zeke, Ko, Elo, and Strippin are the 4 players in the next session. So, like, what's here? It was just like a couple barbarians, but maybe they've made contact with some other folks. So, like, residents. Oh, so first of all, the High Priestess is Maelakedi. Maelakedi, and she's like 52. And what are her 3 attributes? Non-confrontational, astute, and ostentatiously wealthy. Yeah, this village it's sprung up around the Dragon of Azamreth's new hideout, Akarai. Residents, former Kulik Khan, some from Veraskali. New nobility. And let's say there's like a weird construct class of workers. Called the Structs. Everybody who's anybody has a struct. And structs are sort of semi-sentients. State linked to the mud. And they want things. What do they want? Structs want freedom. It is kind of like they want to be a real boy, but they don't really want freedom. They want whatever's going to help them grow. Organic materials that are non-meats. Or mud to keep them alive. Oh, I know what the structs are. I know what the structs are. These are the structs. Yeah. So they're like magically animated hands that have carved mud bodies. And they require... Let me think, what could it be? It's like Baharatana extracts attacks from them in exchange for giving them more mud. So like Structs have their own society where they're trying to trade in exchange so that they can give Baharatana what he wants so that they can get mud. Semi-sentient hand constructs that carve bodies for themselves out of the mud. I think probably they want wealth to trade to Bahara Ditana for... Oh, they want brass. Of course. They want brass. When they get more mud, they become larger and larger and more powerful and hungrier. So structs are simple hand mud and what else? Furtive. That's the 3 descriptors for structs. Yeah, like it would be cool to see a struct's birth. Okay. Yeah, they're the mouth faces from Labyrinth when she falls into the hole of the helping hands. What does brass do for the dragon? Well, he can build more of himself with the brass. He's probably got a forge at his heart that's constantly churning out extra segments. Like No Face in Spirited Away. Yeah, totally. Let's see. I'm gonna tweet out that I'm live, which I totally forgot to do. Live for another 20 minutes of West Marches prep. Tweeted. Done. Good. So that's Akarai, and then we've got... Oh, we'll just call them the Pale Stables. So that's going to be like some sort of scraped, sculpted mud entrance. Into a towering wattle daub structure over Farhan's manse ruins. TFS 4 is saying structs should be able to sacrifice a few of themselves to be able to create a Hekatonkaires? Hekatonkaires. Let's see exactly what that looks like. Yeah, look at that shit. Good. Good things. Yeah, the Pale Stables. So, interior is, you know, scraped, hollow, lit with, thinking like oil braziers, standing on floor, smells dry of bone and metal. 3 rickety horse-shaped constructs of bone stand motionless, their heads following any who enter. Any who enters without Bahara Ditana's permission are slain immediately by the silent guardians. And these are, let's find a monster that can represent them. Night Hags, Yuan-Tis, Great Apes, Grick Alphas, Oni, Shield Guardian, Stone Giant, Black Dragon, Copper Dragon, Ezru, Assassins. What if I go down to 6? A Chasm, a Fiend, 57. See. Chasm is a weird sort of alien buzzing insect. It's a drone. Produces a horrid droning sound. Causes creatures to fall unconscious. I don't like that one. Vrock, maybe? Page 64. At his death, it is a dragon. It's just a dragon. It's what dragons look like in the West Marches. They are strange alien creatures that don't follow the normal rules. If Rock has wings, magic resistance, multi-attack with its beak and talons, this releases toxic spores. I think I like that. I'm going to call these things operate as Vrocks. Rickety horse-shaped constructs of bone. Vrocks. 64. 3x Vrocks. CR6. Page 64. Stand motionless. Yeah, they have, yeah, so what are they called? Haha, lol. This isn't explicitly for the next adventure, right? Because the West Marches is a world, and what I'm doing is I'm updating the world based on the events of last time. So, like, anybody who comes here, they're gonna see the Pale Stables, but I think probably what they're going to notice right away is that the Falcon's Gyre resistance force has been like raiding out into like some smaller farmsteads out into the wild and like killing people and taking their grain and shit like that. So that's going to be a problem. And there needs to be some sort of like other dungeon out here that we need to find. Yeah, like Valask's comment right now. Ever thought about adding people who were adventurers and then became too strange or insane and got lost in the marches? Yeah, that sort of thing. Perfect. I'm gonna call them pale horses. 3 rickety horse-shaped constructs. The pale horses. The pale horses have begun to worship an 8-legged zombie horse. Zombie horse. So how do we know? Smells dry of bone and metal. Strange scrapes on the ground and walls. Picked, rough, horse-like shapes with too many limbs. And that's how we know. So that's the Pale Stables. The Halls of Supplication. Halls of Supplication. Tight, meandering halls that double back and intersect at odd angles. A magically enchanted maze that confuses any who are unwanted. So that's going to be a DC 16 Wisdom save, or be lost for 1d8 hours. Ejected at the entrance after that time. Let's think. This is gonna be yeah, so early segments of the halls have ornate carvings and what is it called when it's mosaics? Mosaics of Bahara Ditana. Conquest of Farhan. On large upon them. No mention of the adventurers, of course. Let's see. There are some gems that you can steal. Let me grab my DMG. So if anyone gets this far, they can steal a couple gems. There's some 500 GP gemstones, so let's see. 50% chance to come across a great freeze of Bahara Ditana, incinerating Farhan. Incinerating Farhan. His eyes are made out of deep red garnets times 12. Yeah. And they are trapped with, let's find out. Oh, Bahara Ditana, Arctic Seal is like, is this just like a warning area, or are the players just going to enter at their own risk? Because this seems pretty rigorous. Bahara Ditana has seen to his safety. He knows that he is a target, and he really doesn't like the players who quote unquote helped him. He's not a fan of Strippin or Galahan or Grigori or any of the others. Traps. Element of PQRST. Hi, baby. Come here. Traps. 120 to 123. Sample traps. Falling net. Fire-breathing statue. Yeah, so let's see. Trapped. Removing any of the eyes will trigger a fire breath from Bahara Ditana. A 30-foot cone. DC 13 Dex save for 4d10 half on success. How could you prevent it? Socketing something of the same size in place quickly will prevent the trap from triggering. Stover Nation, he probably does have like overall less, but oh, now I actually need to give him a CR13 encounter thing as well. So let's take a look at that. Treasure. CR13 treasure hoard. Cool. Yeah, he's got all this also. So let's see. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I copied instead of pasted. Copy, paste, copy. Let's see. So I'm just gonna pull that over. 10,000 GP, so that's 12,200 GP, 2,680 platinum pieces, an electrum cloth gown, $750 gold pieces, a bronze helmet inlaid with gold, worth $750, a dragon scale sash. What kind of dragon scale? Let's call it blue. A blue dragon scale sash worth 750. Not a magic item, it's just a sash made out of dragon scale. Sable sash. A +3 wand of the War Mage. And a wand of polymorph. As well as adamantine armor, a figurine of wondrous power, a sentinel shield, and slippers of spider climbing. So he has most definitely leveled up. Hello, Brewerverse Richter. Control-Shift-V to copy without the formatting. What is this magic wizardry? Control-Shift-V? Control-Shift-C? Oh, that did something strange. Close that. You're probably making me do lots of freaky stuff to my computer. Control-Shift-V, and then here. Have you tried Alt-F4ing to copy without the formatting? Paste unformatted text. Oh, nice. I didn't even know you could do that. Neato. Fantastic. Good. Yeah, and then the throne room is just like, it's basically like a huge mud dome built over one of the mud pits, and Bahara Ditana rests within it. So, throne room. Huge mud dome built over the mud pits with molten glass windows high above. The mud is magically resistant due to its construction. Much of his time wallowing in the bejeweled muck of one of the mud pits centered in this great dome. As far as the shards, Lardman, like Kellen's Bloodstone, I haven't exactly decided how they're gonna fit into things here, actually. Yeah, this is the sort of thing that like players just aren't going to touch it for a long time. So like really, Baharaditana is now he's like the apex dude of a new faction. That's, you know, Baharaditana's supplicants. And really it's them who are going to be working out through the West Marches. Let's see. So I need to detail the Petrified Forest. I wonder what's out there now. So like the stuff that the players are supposed to interact with in here is still levels 1 through 4. There is a level 13 dude sitting at the middle of it, but they're not supposed to try and go kill him right now, right? Like, they're supposed to go take out the mud burbs. They're supposed to go to the mud pits. They're supposed to deal with the Falcon's Gyre. They're supposed to, you know, check out the ruins of Kulik Khan. They're supposed to go look at what was left over in the Petrified Forest. These are the things that are available for the players to go do that are like level 1 through 4 appropriate. Yeah. Arctic Seal's asking if the player characters go through other quests, will this area advance and will the faction grow bigger over time if not touched? That is the idea. That's the idea. So what's in... Oh, hey, look, it's the Amalgamate Golems. What's in the Petrified Forest? Look, it's the bone organ. The view from down in the bone organ. What was the wizard they dealt with last time? That was Farhan. He's a wizard. Ooh, I like that. I wonder if maybe there's some sort of wolf that has moved into the Petrified Forest. And it's some sort of fairy tale wolf that swallows people whole. It's got a spirit that lives inside of it. Oh, what level was he? 8 or 6? I think he was CR 6. So the Wraith Wolf, a monstrous beast from legend who swallows his prey whole and vomits out their wraiths before digesting their bodies. What is he? He's like CR2 or something like that. Aircap, fairy, ghast, giant boar, giant elk, griffin, arrow mimic, ogre zombie, basilisk, hellhound. Ooh, maybe he's a hellhound. 182. I'm gonna see if Wraith is the right monster for him to be vomiting forth, but really, like, does it matter to me if this creature vomits forth entities that are stronger than it? Doesn't really matter to me. So Hellhound is CR3, Keen Hearing and Smell, Bite, Fire Breath. I mean, I'd probably make it like a Shadow Hound. Yeah, so it's just gonna be a large Shadow Hound. Page 182. Yeah, it's got Shadow Breath. Pack Tactics. It gets advantage if an ally is within 5 feet. So it needs some allies, so I'm gonna have wolves. So it's gonna be leading a pack of wolves. +8 wolves, and wolves are those are CR1 4th. They're on page 341. And let's check wraiths. Wraiths. Half wolves come from something else. Fake Alex Blue. UVW. WXY. Wraiths are challenge rating 5. So no, that's too strong. Take a look at shadows. Maybe it's shadows. Vectors or something. Camels, Yuan-Ti, Zorn, shadows are CR1 half. Vomits out their shadows. Digesting their bodies. Cool. I like it. Okay, it's 10:01, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night for preparation tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me. I had fun doing this for y'all. It's awesome. There's 500 people of you who are interested enough in this to check out my preparation stream.